I gotta talk about the Bad Boys Los Angeles show on the Zues network. It's a hot mess. But it's a hot mess that I am going to break down so that you don't have to figure out why it's a hot mess. Let's get into it. What up, what up, what up? It's your girl, Miss Analytical. I'm coming to you on my entertainment review channel. It's called May TVP 2.0. So this is my review channel for entertainment on music, television shows, movies, scripted TV, reality TV, specials, and even books, okay? So, Zues' Bad Boys Los Angeles. It's a hot mess. And what I really want to say, I can't say because I won't be monetized for this video. Even though my channel's new, they won't monetize it once it's eligible for monetization. So, I'm going to give you the synopsis of the series premiere after I tell you how this whole show came about. Back in 2013, there was talk of Oxygen Network doing a Bad Boys Club on their network since the Bad Girls Club was such a huge success. And they really was considering making this premiere the fall of 15. These are known facts. But the casting of the actual group of bad boys, it didn't really gel well with the VPs of the network. So they wasn't really feeling it. And from what I read, it really had to do with the whole danger aspect when it comes to safety in the house. Like with females can basically be picked up by bodyguards and taken to a room. But with men, you don't know, like the strength that men have is more mighty than a strength of a woman because of the physicality of it. So it basically was something that the network was hesitant to really do. But then they wanted it to be repackaged, but not as a Bad Boys Club. So finally, when everything was going to be decided about whether the Bad Boys Club was going to happen or not, Oxygen switched their whole entire format to make it focus only on crime and investigative shows. So the Bad Girls Club is no more. It will never happen again because Oxygen owns the name. But Oxygen didn't own baddies. So Natalie Nunn signed a deal with Zues to do original programming and to also create the Bad Boys Club. But you couldn't use the Bad Boys Club's name because Oxygen has it. Now, what she did that was smart was that she used Bad Boys, but she added it to Los Angeles, which is like the city. And this is where we get to the crux of the story of the episode. So season 1 starts off with a photo shoot with all the guys there. And the guys' names are Milan Christopher from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood season 2. You have Anthony Uncensored. He's a socialite from Texas, Houston to be exact. Then you have Mula. He's from New York. He has his own clothing line. He does promotions. He's a socialite where he's from. Then you have Curtis Golden. Supposedly he's a boxer and he makes music. Then you have Relly B. I love Relly B. Where the money reside, I love him. Then you have Dylan from Tennessee and William the Baddest, who I'm going to get to later on. So Those are the only two white guys in the house. Then you have Carrion Franklin, who is Kurt Franklin's son. You also have Gutta K. Gutta K is charming. He's a Cancer, so he knows how to charm you. But I'm gonna get to Gutta K in a minute. It's not really bad. And then the infamous Andrew Caldwell. So at the photo shoot, everything is seeming copacetic. But then Andrew gets into it with Milan Christopher. Now, this all has to do with Andrew Caldwell calling Milan a has-been queen. He's basically insulting him and saying that he's nasty. He sleeps with anybody. He just, he has no class. He's just trashy. And all the jewels that he wears cannot even cover up like the filth that he does. So Milan Christopher was like, you know what? I'm not going to even pay attention to you because a couple of days ago, you was dropping in my DMs and I ignored you. And so Milan states that Andrew basically hollered at him. He basically likes Milan and Milan turned him down. And I believe it. But I also believe that Andrew has a borderline personality disorder. That's just my opinion. Because when you see him interacting with the castmates, he want to turn up. But when he turns up, he never lays hands. He only puts his hands up and he goes, he does that. And it's like people don't want to hate Andrew. But it's like you got into it with not just Milan. You got into it with Dylan. You got into it with William the Baddest. You got into it with Anthony Uncensored. You got into it with Relly B. Gutta K. I mean, the only person you didn't get into it with was with Carrion B, unless I missed something. You got into it with everybody practically in the house. Oh, I'm going to tell you who he didn't get into it with. He didn't get into it with Curtis Golden. See, the thing about Andrew is that when it comes to like straight men, he's very, very careful. He ain't going to really mess with them. But he likes to get into it with openly gay men. It does something to him. So they're supposed to go to get ready to go to the house and get ready to go on the bus and go to the house. But what's his name? Andrew Caldwell's like, I'm not going. So he just leaves. And nobody really knows why he leaves until once they get to the mansion. Now, in between the mansion getting to the house, the mansion, Moolah and Curtis want to know about Kurt Franklin's son's sexuality. And so they were like, do you date women? Do you date men? Do you like girls? Like what do you like? So he's like, I may date a woman. I may date a man. It depends on how I feel. So are you bisexual? Are you fluid? Whatever. So he's like, I'm not going to say. And I'm going to be honest with you. At that point, I really felt that Carrion didn't have to say anything. Carrion would have just basically said, my life is private. I keep my life private, my sexuality. I don't tell people that I just met. But when you say it like that, it's like you open a can of worms. So meanwhile, you got Dylan and William going at it on the bus, and Relly B is a hot mess. He's an instigator. So they get off the bus, and Relly B basically coaxes Dylan and William the Baddest to basically fight. Now, these are two white guys. And they was insulting each other, basically what kind of queen are you? I'm a better queen, and nobody don't know you. And I really like Dylan's vibe because I feel that William does a little bit too much. I really do. But, I'm going to get to William in a couple of reviews later on. I'm going to explain to you why. So, they don't really want to fight, but Relly B says, if you don't fight, I'm going to fight y'all. So, they finally fight. And they were not connected. The punches, the slaps, they were not connected. It was bad. So Relly B, instead of just, moving on, letting go situation, Relly B basically ends up fighting William. And William wasn't that bad. But then he fights Dylan. Now, I felt that Dylan I felt that William was instigating Dylan. I think that William wanted to get at him because they were the only white guys and he wanted clout from the black guys. Basically say, oh, you beat up that dude. Okay, so we gonna give you clout. I think that's what it was all about. So anyway, Relly B scratches Dylan hard and his face has a cut. So in the first couple of episodes, you're going to see Dylan's face is really scratched and bloody. It's bad. And I was like, Dylan, go use the first aid kit. And I'm going to get to the projection suits about this. I'm going to tell you about this. So anyway, Dylan did not want to fight. And Dylan was like, I'm done. I'm ready to go. If this is what it's going to be, this is not safe. So Natalie and the production crew gets there. And Natalie is basically like, okay, you need to calm down. Now, meanwhile, production, before Natalie arrives, they take Relly B into the van. So he got to have basically a time out. Because not only was he wilding when he was fighting William and Dylan, but he was actually intoxicated, okay? So what basically happened was that she asked Dylan if he was okay. And Dylan was like, yeah, I'm good, but I'm not really feeling this. I didn't come here to get beat up, let alone have somebody jump me because I don't want to fight. And that's a great point Dylan made. But Natalie is focusing on Andrew Caldwell basically leaving. And she don't really know if he's going to come back or not, but he's not a bad boy. He's not a bad boy. Duh, why would you cast Andrew Caldwell? Anyway, you only casted him to basically get views so that people could laugh at him. Andrew is not a bad boy. Andrew went viral for being delivered. And apparently he's not delivered. He basically has been returned. Okay? All right? It was returned to sender. So they move into the mansion. And what happens is she shows a video of Andrew. And Andrew is leaving. He has his rolling luggage. And he was like, I don't want to be here. I did not sign up for this. This is embarrassing. This is stupid. And I'm not feeling this at all. And I'm ready to go. All these people are jumping me. They're attacking me. And my brand is very valuable. My fans came to see me, but not like this. So I only care about them. I don't care about all these other peons. I don't care about them. I care about my fans. All right. And this is what y'all do to me. Y'all put me in a situation. No, I'm gone. So as of 2 weeks ago, Andrew is suing Zues. He's suing Zues. And as much as Andrew Caldwell is a troublemaker, I'm going to be honest with you. I think there are some valid points made. And I'm going to get to that after I make the final points of the commentary. So what happens is the guys are basically finding their rooms. And what occurs is that Gutter K has a thing for Moolah. Has a thing for Carry On. And he flirts with Carry On. And Carry On's like, you're not coming in my bedroom because it's only one bed. So Carry On has like he had like a regular size bedroom, but it's one bed. He was like, no, whatever. And Gutter K, being a charming Cancer, he basically touches his beard and everything. And then, he goes on and he skips along. He's like, okay, whatever. So Curtis Golden and Moolah, they share in a bed. And so they tell Carry On before he finds his room, you can't come in here because we don't know if you straight. Like, we got to know who you are. Like, us dudes, we like women. We don't know. And so, like, nothing against you, bro, but we don't know. So Carry On feels some kind of way, but he basically leaves and then gets an intoxication with Gutter K, and then, he goes about his business. Now, they're downstairs, and they basically talk about, F Andrew. Like, who gives a damn if he left? Like, nobody want to be around him anyway. So, during the fight, Milan Christopher was not feeling what Relly B did. And he checked on Dylan. And he also checked on William to see that they was doing good. And I'm going to tell you something about Milan. I think Milan is a very sincere dude. But because of the whole thing that happened with Love and Hip Hop at Hollywood, Milan has gotten a bad rap. And it was unfair because I think personally he was used. And I will talk about that later on throughout the series. But When they get into the house, Milan Christopher does something interesting. He basically tells Natalie, I'm not feeling this bully shit. And what Relly B did to Dylan was wrong. If somebody don't want to fight you, you don't fight them. So Relly B was like, but I had to do what I had to do. They needed to fight because they wasn't connecting. And Relly B is stupid for that because you don't instigate in that. It wasn't your problem. And that's what Milan says. It wasn't your beat. But Milan did something that was surprising. He threw the drink at him and was like, now I want to fight you. Now let's go. And so they fight, and then it closes, and then you see the preview of the second episode. So I'm going to tell you my issues with this. First of all, there was no storyline. Where is the storyline? Where was the beginning, middle, and end? All I see is them getting to the house. First, I see them getting prepared to go on a bus. Then I see them on a bus, and then they arrive at the mansion, and then they're inside the mansion. Then you see Andrew on film talking about why he's leaving Bad Boys Los Angeles. There was no theme. There was no plot. All reality shows have a plot. Okay? You create a plot. Now, I get where Lemmy is saying, we want to make it authentic and real. Okay, fine, whatever. But you could do that on 1, 2, or even 3 episodes where it's so raw that we just got to show you what's really going down. But you're better off extending the episode instead of it being 45 or 50 minutes. Have it as a 1 hour and 15-minute episode to see there was a break in production, because we don't want to see issues going on around production, because that's what it seems like Zues does. Zues does a lot of, fights where, a lot of episodes where there's fighting going on and production is halted. They're in the middle of production and nothing's happening. It doesn't make sense. That's not how you run a television show. That's not how television is produced. Even though this is a streaming platform, it's still of the essence in television. Another thing that was very, very, very bothersome to me is that you have Dylan walking around with his face bloody. Yes, there's scratches, and maybe he wasn't leaking, but he was supposed to immediately seek first aid. But y'all basically let that boy stand there. What if he was leaking? Where is the nurses? Where is the first aid staff? You got the security guards that wasn't doing anything, letting them fight, but where's the first aid staff? And this is the same thing that happened with with Kay Capri when she was leaking. There is no first aid staff. These are the problems that people are picking up on your network, Lemuel Plummer. You got an issue with a lot of things going on. And Q, Funky Zaniva, he's correct. You're intellectually lazy because you're not writing. You don't have to write a script, but you can write, an outline. You know what the problem is? And I want to shout out all my friends who studied media, communications, film, public relations, video, television production, radio and TV. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. There's no treatment. Lemuel Plummer does not create treatment. His staff don't create treatment. Now, what is a treatment? Okay. No, I'm not talking about anything that deals with health and medicine. Treatments are what film and television producers do when they're outlining a movie, a show, a documentary, okay? A sketch. So the treatment is basically what is going to be the thesis of this movie, television show, documentary, or reality TV. So it's basically an outline of the beginning, middle, end. Now, in the process, you basically change everything up, until you basically produce the treatment. But you basically you have to have an idea. So a treatment is a document that presents the story idea of your film before writing the entire script. Treatments are often written in present tense in a narrative like prose and highlight the most important information about your film, including the title, the log title, story summary, and character description. There's no treatment. Now, yes, this is a reality TV show, but there's treatments in every type of production in visual media. Visual communications, like not like film or whatever, but there's treatments. And that's the problem. And it just hit me. There's no treatment. You have not even outlined a treatment. You have not even presented a plot, because you got to have a plot for every episode. Every episode that is produced on even the Bad Girls Club, they had plots where they went places and they didn't stretch out what was going on in between. And if there was an argument, there was an argument. What Zues is doing, they're filming every single thing and airing it. And that's not what you do. And it's sloppy. And like Funky Dineva said, it is intellectual laziness. And I will be reporting on this because I have a lot to say when it also comes to how the gays are allowed to be, I don't want to say the gays, but how Lemuel Plummer is portraying gay men of color and how he's basically doing an experiment with straight people who are black men. And it's not cool. And nothing against any of the sexualities, but you're playing with people's lives, Lemuel, and it's not right. So thank you for listening to his commentary. This is my new channel, May TVP 2.0 Entertainment Reviews. Make sure you subscribe, like, hit the notification, comment, share, and I will talk to you soon. And also visit my other channel, my main one, which is Miss Analytical Entertainment, Miss Analytical TV. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Later.